So just like the previous video here, we've got to factorize the top here, and the number in front of the x squared is greater than 1. So we've got to do a bit of work, yeah? So in this approach that we use, okay, which is very useful, put 3x at the start, okay, of both brackets, okay, because there's a 3 there. And then we've got to get them to multiply. Well, it's not that number. Remember, you've got to times these together. So 3 times 2 is 6. So we need a pair of numbers that multiply to give 6, add up to give 5. So that's well, let's see, 1 times 6. Yeah, we could get them to get 5, but I'd have to make this to be negative, wouldn't I? Yeah, so that's not going to work, isn't it? Because that would add up to 5, but when you multiply them, it comes to minus 6. That's no good. So the other pair then is 2 and 3. So be careful on that, right? Because sometimes a pair looks like it'll work, but it doesn't. It doesn't quite get there. 2 and 3 works though, doesn't it? Because you can make them both positive, and they'll add up to give 5, and then when you times them, you get 6. So that's good, right? So plus 2 plus 3. Don't forget then, with this method, you have to then, bit of magic, right? You've got to divide it by the number there in front of the x squared 3. Well, that bracket there doesn't have common factor of 3. Okay, 3 doesn't divide into 2 perfectly, but the second bracket does, doesn't it? Okay, so you keep the first bracket as it is. Second bracket then, we'll divide by 3, you get x. Divide by 3 there, you get 1. Okay. And then, yeah, just like in the previous video, then we go back to our expression here. Put the double bracket in at the top. And then on the denominator then, you can see, can't you? You can see that we're going to have a cancellation here. Okay, common factor of x plus 1 on top and bottom. They cancel, so we end up with 3x plus 2. And then 2x minus 3. Okay, and yeah, just like we said before, this then looks a lot nicer, doesn't it, than that? Much more, obviously, simplified using that process. Okay, so we look at one more, okay, on this. And this time, both of them need to be factorized. Okay, so there's a bit of work here. So let's do the first one then. 8x squared plus 10x plus 3. Okay, so in each bracket, we're going to put 8x. Okay, right, so then over here then a pair of numbers that multiply to give 24, isn't it? Yeah, not that number. You've got to times the first number by the end number, 24. So a pair that times 24. Well, 1 times 24, that's no good. 2 times 12, we want it to add up to give 10. Well, I can get that to be 10, but then this means that would have to be negative, wouldn't it? And then you take 12 take away 2 is 10. The trouble is, when you multiply, that won't give you positive 24, so that's no good. So 3 times 8, no good. 4 and 6. 4 and 6 will work because they both add up to 10. Brilliant. So plus 4 plus 6. And then, don't forget then, you have to divide by 8. You have to divide what's in front of the x squared. Now, there's no common factor of 8 there, and there's no common factor of 8 there, but there's a common factor of 4 there. So I could divide this bracket by 4, and there's a common factor of 2 there. I could divide that by 2. And then you've divided by 4, you've divided by 2. If you divide by 4 and then divide by 2, you've divided by 8. Okay, so we've made the top 8 times smaller, and then that means then we can cancel it out with the bottom there. Okay, so we've actually divided the top by 8, and we've made it 8 times smaller. So I'll divide this one by 4 then. Okay, so I get 2x plus 1, and I'll divide that one by 2, so I get, let me get this right, 4x, isn't it, there, plus then 3. I divide that by 2, so overall I've divided by 8, and we're sorted. Okay, we've got to do the second one. Okay, so 12x squared plus 5x minus 3. Okay, why am I underlining it? I don't know, it doesn't matter. So we're gonna, two brackets, 12x in both. Okay, and then we got to get them to multiply. Right, what are we going to multiply to be? So negative 36, yeah? Because you've got 12 times minus 3, negative 36. So two numbers, well, 1 and 36, that's no good. 2 and 18, that's no good. Remember now, we've got to get it to add up to 5. 3 and 12, no good. 4 and 9, now 4 times 9 is 36. I can get that to be positive 5 if I make that negative 4, yeah? Okay, that'll add up to 5. 9 minus 4 is 5. And I do multiply to give minus 36 to negative 36, so it works. So negative 4 there and positive 9 here. And remember then you've got to divide the whole thing by 12. Okay, well, this one here, you can divide it by 4, can't you? So you get 3x minus 1. Divide that by 4, you get 3. Divide that by 4, you get 1. And the other one we can divide by 3. So 4x, and then divide that by 3, you get 3. So divide that by 4, and then divide it by 3. That's overall effect of dividing it by 12. So we're done, right? So then it's a case of going from the top up there, the question we had. Okay, so that's going to go then on the top, the numerator, and then the denominator will be 3x minus 1, 4x plus 3, and you can see the 4x plus 3's cancel. Okay, so we end up with 2x plus 1 divided by 3x minus 1. Now, you can see we've gone from that thing there to this. It's much nicer, yeah? So we've done a lot of work, but we simplified it as it should be.